Hey guys, so today's Saturday, 29th. Making progress on the camper. I decided to start pulling up the wet styrofoam, and I ended up working my way all the way back to the AC bracket. I just decided at that point it's probably better to just pull it all the way at least from here down. I've went underneath and I've gotten it all the way to the wood too. I've made sure to do that because it's really heavy. I've got 4 bags. I've got 4 bags of it. I want to show you guys how far I've actually pulled it back here. I'm stepping on a ladder, but I've taken it all the way back to the wood. The only downfall about scraping this stuff, and there's no way to really avoid it, is you're trying to scrape it up and you keep hitting your interior screws with your hands with the scraper. So I've busted a couple fingers now, but you know, small price to pay. I noticed some water over there in the corner when I took the tarps off. I don't know how water got in with the 2 corners, but I'm a little concerned. I'm hoping it hasn't done any more damage to the inside. You know, I'm gonna get a 3rd tarp, I think, because I don't think we're gonna be done, and we might have more rain coming. But I'm glad it wasn't a washout like they were saying today. When I get all the styrofoam in the bags, there's 2 more bags up on the deck, and there's a 3rd bag here. There's probably going to be a 4th bag. When I get it all in there, I'm going to do a separate video on basically the weight of styrofoam once it gets wet. So anybody that's had a pop-up camper and it's leaked bad and they patch it and they think that it's okay, you know, I'm going to show you the weight, and I'm pretty sure it's going to be well over 30, 35, 40 pounds of weight in that roof. So just because you catch a leak and you patch the outside, it's really not okay at that point. I mean, the styrofoam doesn't dry. This is all wet still. I'm gonna have to vacuum this or air hose it and then wipe it down real good before we even try to glue anything new in. Just still probably a day or so away. I've got all this section I'm gonna start removing now, and I'm gonna put some bolts in on these brackets too, just to shore them up like I did the ones over there, just to safety. I'm already in the roof, might as well do it. But I just wanted to, you know, show you guys where I was at with it, and hopefully, you know, you guys, you know, will be able to. Alright guys, got all the screws in where I drilled the holes. It's like 5 here, it's 5 or 6 here. And this is to suck this tin headliner up some. Now once I glue the foam board down to it, let that adhere, and then once I glue the foam board also to the fiberglass paneling, it should make it more rigid, even more rigid than what it, you know, was. This has definitely pulled it up some. It was sagging really bad down here, so that's just a little bit of wire, the stuff that hides wiring that I put in. But when I had to reroute my lights and ran my LED lights up there. But so this is where I'm at, just to give you guys an update. I'm getting ready to get out. I am going to fix my shower wall bracket back there. The screw keeps stripping because it's just sheet metal. This is just like a metal. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back there and drill a hole where those brackets go, all the L brackets, and then what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna glue in a nice good piece of wood up in the roof before I seal it. That way, when I put the new brackets in to hold the shower wall, it won't, you know, the screws won't just strip being in this. They'll actually have something to adhere to. I was really actually pretty shocked at how cheap they make this stuff. Like where the door seams here are pop riveted right here and there. When I strip the roof down, I'll show you guys, but they just use like a little piece of flashing. That's it. Besides this, just a piece of flashing. There's like no real anchor or anything. So I'm amazed at how long like these doors will hold up. Like these, you know, see a lot of pop-up people that, you know, they say they're things that hold their door up, you know, usually will pop out and they can't get a new one in. Well, that's because there's nothing up in there besides literally a piece of little metal flashing. I mean, it's tiny. If it was me, I would definitely, you know, if you could keep the wood dry, which ideally you want to, I would run a piece of wood through there and then some screws up into it. That way, you know, the wood bites and, you know, but the screws bite into the wood. But I mean, of course, you know, they make these things as cheap as possible because they want to, you know, make as much profit. So unfortunately, once they get a little bit older and start leaking, that's when the worst of the worst shows up. So anyways, this is where we're at. I'm gonna get ready to go back there and try to mark where I need to put a nice screw up in there past the roof. So I'm gonna do that real quick, and then I can cut out and put the wood in once I lower it back down. But interior wise, I think we're pretty much done until we get the foam in and then the stuff on top, and then we're gonna have to rehook up. I'm still looking at maybe possibly doing a heat strip in there. I don't know, we'll see for the AC. I'll just be glad when this thing's back together. All right, guys, we'll tune in for another video. I'll update you guys as soon as I can. All right, see ya. Have a good weekend. Hey guys, here's an update. We got the first panel in finally. I wish I had more progress done, but we've had so much problems trying to get these panels to stick to the metal roof here. I ended up going back to Ace Hardware. I tried the Loctite Super 90, didn't do anything. I actually tried resin. Resin wouldn't hold it. I think it's just because we have styrofoam on there still, and I've tried to scrape it and clean it up, but anytime you're dealing with removing old styrofoam and stuff, you know, it's going to be hard to get it spotless. So I went back to Ace and I spent $40 on this. It's Weldwood contact cement. So far it seems to be working great. I just put this one in here, just cut piecing in where I had to put bolts. So I'm going to show you what I'm doing here with this one, okay? So let me grab my gallon here. Okay. So I've got a gallon of this, and I'm actually thinking about using this for the FRP paneling too, the way it's holding and as quick as it's holding. So I'm gonna set that there. What I'm doing basically is I'm just taking the brush. I'm taking the brush and I'm just painting a nice coat of it on there, like this. It's just hard to do and hold the phone, but so I go a little heavy with it because I want this stuff to hold for good. So okay, there we go. So I'm going kind of thick with it, again, because this roof is rippled, so I'm afraid with the thin coat, it's not going to pick up in some of the dips where that interior roof is. So now that that's done, I'll just soak my brush really good, and I'll show you what I'll do. I'll soak my brush really good, dip it in there. But let me walk over here to the side real quick. I have to keep moving the gallon back and forth because it's both sides need to be done. So this side's going to be for here. So then what I'm doing is I'm going to where it needs to be. I'm just painting a nice thick little coat in there real quick, just to cover up any sort of thing that needs to be covered up. I figure if I get contact cement on both sides, it'll give it a nice hard, you know, clean look. Then it's just a matter of fitting and pressing. I put it in tight because I want this to be really, I want it to fit pretty much. There we go. Really tight because the glass is going to get, I mean the fiberglass paneling is going to get attached to this. So you want this to be kind of snug but flush. There we go. That off. That. There we go. And it takes about 15 minutes or so to dry, but once it dries, it's really good. It's good to go. Again, I don't expect it to be level with this because this is my joiner piece, so it'll be level with this piece right here. That little piece down there, that sister joist piece, that's a little bit smaller than a true inch. You know, anytime they cut wood, they cut it a little shorter than what it's supposed to be. There we go. There we go. And by the time this dries up, it'll be good and sturdy. So that one's done. I got more to do. Got a lot more to do, actually. I can always take another, you know, to make it fit, I can take a paint scraper too and thin it out a little bit and it'll fit better. But I mean, even this is pretty much okay. It's gonna smoothly run across and pick up there. So that's where I'm at. I got to do this one. I got to notch the wires out. Got to cut out the holes for the bolts. This one's in. I got a lot of weight on it because the longer the piece, the more it wants to torque and warp and stuff. So some spots it didn't seem like it wanted to hold well. The real pain in the butt one's going to be these next two big ones here and here, because I've got a notch wire for it. I'm going to have to like mark where the wire is going to be and then kind of indent it or dig it out a little bit or something so it can sit flush. And then you got to make it kind of take all these screws. I mean, there's a ton of screws in there. I'm going to put some Gorilla Glue duct tape over this too to protect the wires and stuff. So I'm going to cover that up next. But you can see where I notched my posts to allow the wires to get through. We're moving along. It's just nowhere near as fast as what I wanted, but I'm not going to complain. It was supposed to rain all day today, and at least we gotten to the point now where we gotten all the heavy wet stuff out and we're starting to put some good stuff in. So maybe in the next day or two I'll get to the point where I can start actually, once all this is down, start reskinning the whole thing. That's what my game plan is. I'm going to tape off the AC hole really good with some Gorilla Glue duct tape on the wood frame, and then that way I can just kind of still put that, you know, contact cement all over the FRP panels and then just lay them down and weigh them down as I do each one. And I'm thinking about tacking them in to the sideboards too. I don't know if I'm going to use some sort of penny nails or just some, you know, something. I was thinking about something instead of just laying it down and then just putting, you know, but butyl tape should work too. I don't know. At this point, I'm kind of over analyzing everything. I just don't want to have to do this again, ever. Alright guys, thanks for watching. Just showing you guys how I'm eventually, you know, finally seems like getting these panels to stick pretty well. So, again, thanks for watching, and I'll update you guys soon as I get some more progress. Thanks. See ya.